Well, hi, you guys. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm good. Yourself?
Hola. Good over here.
Hola. That's going to be me next week.
And that's going to be me a couple weeks after that. Very exciting. Kelly, I know that you're going to be going away too. What language will you be speaking?
Floridian.
Oh.
How does that sound like?
Yeah.
Florida's fun.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I've not been since pre-pandemic. And
this is your first travel then?
This is my first I don't think I've been to Ontario, which for our friends in the south is our province to the west of us. And that's it. I've not been in the States since 2019.
Me neither.
You haven't either?
No, I've been to Mexico.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Flew right over the States, but
yep.
Haven't been down. No. I'm looking
Maybe
forward to
I'll
it.
As I fly over Kentucky, I'll say hi, Shane.
Hey, Shane. Yeah, it'll be good. Good to get back. It feels kind of normal when you can make vacation plans and
yep.
jaunty plans, you know?
Yeah, I'm basically driving Miss Daisy around. That's my mother. And so driving Miss Marianne. That's what I'll be doing.
Very nice.
Yeah, because my father has decided he doesn't want to vacation anymore. So
anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't really vacation to begin with, but like I think his travels outside of our province have ceased.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not that he's not in good shape, because he could probably walk to Florida no problem if he wanted, or run.
Yeah.
But he's so funny. He's just like, the older he gets, the more he just wants to like hammer down and work. So that's what he's doing. Yep.
Wow.
They might go to Ottawa for a few days.
Oh,
that's big.
That's exotic.
Break out the cruise line. But I figured it was a good opportunity to spend some time with Mummy Alexander. So that's what we're going to do.
That's cool.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, and she's stressed already. She's like, what are we going to do? I don't want this to be just about me. I'm like, Mom, I'm like,
too late.
I'm like, wherever you want to go, Ma. Just as long as I have an afternoon or two to sit and read by the pool, Kelly will be a happy camper.
Yeah. Get some outlet shopping in.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it.
I'm going to make sure we don't stay at that same hotel that I told you guys about the last time, where we were in the middle of nowhere because I had no car and I walked in the heat and almost died of heat exhaustion.
It's because you're fair skin, Kel.
I am fair skin.
You're blonde. You probably weren't hydrated. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm either white or red. There's those two colors.
Well, I think that Adam and I have a little bit of a heads up on the tanning solution, so we will definitely be able to brag about that in the next few weeks.
Yeah, you have a nice olive action that goes on.
I work at it. Yeah. This doesn't just happen, okay? I joke. It does just happen.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that for our vacation plans, or for whatever plans, whatever short trips or jaunts or whatever, Run-DMC should probably be on your playlist, because the short story is we've hit the end of the road for Run-DMC.
Oh,
I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but also how you too have been no more a number of times, apparently, in the last 40 plus years. So we'll talk about that. And of course, the list of people that were on hand to help celebrate the life of Lisa Marie Presley. Pretty much an incredible reflection of her diverse friendships over time. So I thought we should probably start there today. Pretty incredible when you think that, Alanis Morissette performs, Axl Rose performs, and Billy Corgan performs, but also that the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, also has some nice things to say, because they were quite close as friends. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think for me, in my life, I think that Lisa Marie Presley was the first famous offspring. And I know she wasn't, because she wasn't actually the first, because there were many superstars before that obviously had kids. But, at that rock star level, Elvis being the king of pop, or the king of rock, the king, not the king of pop, that was Michael Jackson. But for his child to then be the next one to join her father in rest, that impacts my life somehow, and I didn't know her, but somehow losing that is a big deal. So it made complete sense for me to see all the people that were there to pay tribute to her.
Yeah, including I think, was it the Tennessee choir or something was also there? Like there was a choir. I can't remember the exact name of them, but I thought that was such a great, like, just, balance of all the different genres in a way that were there. And then I saw also a few days after the funeral that Winona Judd was interviewed by Entertainment Tonight.
Wow.
And she just mentioned how sad she was about losing Lisa Marie, which, because in a way, like, of course they would know each other, but then you're like, of course they would. Like, Winona lives in Tennessee, but it's just like there's part you're like, wow, she knew her too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that Lisa Marie used her personality and her roots to plant those seeds and make friends like that, which is, I think, what we're supposed to do in this world.
Yeah. But she, like, it's crazy how, like, she was in so many different communities that I now see since her passing, right? Like I mentioned to you guys before that, she was friends with Janet. Like, now I know she was friends with Winona. We know Axl Rose. We know, like, Alanis Morissette, clearly. Like, all these people, Billy Corgan, like, it's just such a wide array of people that, and even like, who did I see? I can't remember now. Hopefully it'll come to me, but it was somebody on Instagram, a celebrity. And I was like, they know her too. Like, it was almost like when I told you guys that Jonathan Knight had posted about Kirstie Alley. Like, he's like, I never thought they would know each other. And, here we are. So,
yeah. Well, I think it's interesting. The more we talk about the diversity of her reach in friendship and in musical taste, that too is a reflection of her upbringing, and certainly her connection with her dad, who over the course of his music career also was a champion in different genres throughout his career. So I guess it's really no surprise, but it's certainly it's impressive, I think.
Yeah. And I don't know if you watched I watched a clip of the speech that Riley's husband did for her.
Yeah.
What a great, like, just, Lisa Marie must have just been an awesome mother. Like, that just seems to be the pervasive thought, that she was just, like, front and center, just like Kirstie Alley was, it sounds like, also.
Yeah. I think it sounds like it should go without saying, but if your kids look back and see that you actually tried and you put effort into making a family and creating a heart space for your kids, then if they've spotted that in their life, then you've done what you were supposed to do.
Yeah,
I like it.
1,000,000%. And it's funny, just like you said too, like, I didn't even follow her on social media, but I was very sad, like, just sad by her. And like, it hit me hard, kind of like harder than some of the other ones we've lost in the last, like, 6 months. And I guess it's just because I also felt so bad for her when her son died. Like, I just felt awful for her. Like,
yeah, there's a certain, like, chronology. It's not okay when anybody goes. It hurts when people die. When the order is messed up, and when a kid goes before the parent, that's tough, I think, for the people that are left behind to try to process.
Yeah. And now, like, too, like, and again, like, there's so many people that are struggling, but I just, again, have something, this space in my heart that just feels so bad for the twins. They're only 14 and they've just lost their brother not even 3 years ago, and now they lose their mom. Like, it's just awful.
And Priscilla, you got to give her credit too. Like, the idea that she spoke with what sounded to me like the sound of a broken heart. She was very somber, obviously, but you could feel it.
Yeah. And I hope, like, she's 77. I think that's what I saw. And I just hope she lasts a long time, so her grandbabies, like those twin girls, like, have, like, that female strong presence in their life. And I know their sister Riley's going to try to step up, but she's now also, we found out she's a mom.
Yeah.
In that whole thing too. So she's got a lot on her plate already, but I have a feeling like she's going to be very protective of her younger siblings.
Yep. People rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do. And I think with the experience that family has had, that they will likely do the same. So may she rest in peace. And may her friends' heavy hearts be a little bit lighter with the memories that they've kept with her. We'll try and do our part by creating some levity with some easy questions, Cal.
No.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
90s now trivia.
Bing bong.
I say that knowing that I'm leading with an art and literature.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
fantastic.
But P.S. we have so many people wanting to know, Sharon, if you have watched Kath and Kim yet.
Not yet. I promise I will be watching
Okay.
it. Just
Because
hasn't happened yet.
Rachel in Australia is very adamant that you try this accent out. Like in the Kath, because again, it's Kath and Kim is Australian, but it's like comedic Australian. So like even I can kind of do it. Like even my better half Elaine is like, you're not far off. I was like, woo, like because I suck at accents, absolutely suck at them. So yeah. Okay, so art and literature question number 1. Fight Club is a 1996 novel by which American author? No Googling, Adam.
I thought Fight Club was a movie.
It was obviously made off of a book.
And you know
Huh.
what? What happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. So
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not at liberty to answer that question, but I still would like the points.
Good answer, Sharon. Adam, you want to
Thank
give it a
you.
go?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Mario Puzo.
I do want to give Adam, by the way, a shout out for his attempt last week at the movie where you mentioned RRR, because I
Yep.
think, is it nominated for an Oscar now? Like it was
It
mentioned.
is.
I
It
think I
is.
saw
It's-
that too.
yeah.
So good job, Adam.
I know I sounded like I came out of nowhere, but it's a really great movie.
Yeah, because clearly you are more movie savvy than Sharon and I are at this point. At least I mean, Sharon probably has been to way more movies than me, but yeah,
Well, you know what? By doing that, Adam really brought the now to 90s now.
he
There
did.
you
He
go.
did. He did. So the Fight Club, American author, 1996 novel is Chuck Palahniuk.
Sounds like you made it up.
I was gonna say Brad. He was the actor in the movie. Yeah, sounds like. Yeah, I hope I pronounced that correct. See, these art and literature questions, the authors always have these hard names. It's a bit rough. Anyways, congratulations on that. No one got it.
Sarcasm 101.
At its best. We are now moving over to news and politics. The Izmit earthquake in 1999 occurred in which Eurasian country?
Did you
Eurasian country? What's a Eurasian
I
country?
think that means on the border of like Europe and Asia, correct?
Eurasian country.
Yeah.
That's what it
Ah,
means.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go,
Adam.
Go
Adam.
for it.
I'll go for Turkey.
Adam!
Boop, boop,
Good
boop.
job, Adam.
Wow.
Solid.
Well, I feel
Solid.
like it is on the verge of, Europe and India. So, and it's,
Well.
there's a big area to the country.
Mhm.
So I figured those would max out my odds of getting the answer.
Sharon, what was your guess going to be?
Oh my God. You give me geography questions and I'm back in grade 8 going, what? Where? Why? So good job, Adam. Way to grab Turkey out of thin air.
Thank
Oh
you
my
very
God.
much.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations, Adam. And I just want to give a shout out for our audio listeners. Adam is wearing his McLaren sweatshirt, which
Yeah.
is very festive and orange. And so good job. And February 24th, I believe, is when the Drive to Survive's next season comes out.
Cool.
Season 5, I think, 5 or 6, 5, I think. So have you watched that yet, Sharon?
I've seen some of it. Yeah. It's kind of
very, yeah.
fun to watch.
It's like a racing soap opera.
Yeah.
I loved season 1 through 3. That's what got me back into watching Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did watch it when I was 4 or 5 years old. At the end of the 90s, I did watch a lot of Formula One with my mom. But Drive to Survive season 4 was pretty lame, if you would ask for my opinion. So we'll
Was
see
season
what
4 reflective of COVID?
it
Season 3
was.
also reflective of COVID.
You know those kinds of episodes where they just show the same footage over and over again to create drama and to create some suspense.
Yeah.
And you're just like, get the story moving. You've shown us this teaser for like 25 times. Just get on with the story. And that was my whole thing watching the whole series. So we'll see if season 5 makes it better.
Yeah. And by the way, before
will
Sharon moves on, I think I might have said this a couple weeks ago, but there is now the people behind Drive to Survive. Now there's a tennis version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a golf one also.
Oh,
I've watched a few episodes of the tennis version. Just refer back to my last comments on season 4.
Okay.
You'll
really?
get the
Eh?
gist. Yeah. And I'm a huge tennis fan.
And if anyone
I
has
was,
insomnia, probably watch the golf one.
Well, I love golf too, so
If I have problems sleeping, I just watch golf. I'm out. It's good.
It's so pleasant.
Yeah.
It's
And I
such
love
a
when I see all
contrast.
these people in the gallery and they get so excited. I'm like, you stood there for hours for that? Like,
It's great. Yeah, yeah. You know what? The funny thing about watching golf and it being so calming
yeah.
is that when
Mhm.
you're playing it, it's so possibly supremely frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like you can see why people want to wing their clubs into the woods, you know?
Yeah. And have you ever noticed, like, I haven't listened to golf in a while, but I think Jim Nance might be one of the commentators for CBS. I love Jim Nance. Like, sorry?
Nance?
Yeah, Nantz. And he's also a very good, I think he calls college basketball. Anyways, I love Jim Nance. But like when you hear him call golf, it's almost like he's out on a bird safari and he's like, over to the left, we see a triple-breasted duck. You know what I mean? Like it's super calming. And you're like, yeah, nice.
well, you know that the golf commentator on the French sports TV station, Michel Lacroix, is the same guy that is the official voice of the Bell Center for the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, wow.
So the same guy that will whisper to the birds during a golf broadcast is the same one announcing the goals in a full in a crowded arena. So hey,
Wow.
sometimes you can have
Both.
multiple talents. There you
He's
go.
talented. Very
Yeah.
good. I
Because
just
Jim Nance does, and I'm sure Michelle does it too, but it's like this like whisper talk. It's like, as you can see, he's headed to the whatever. And it's like super, and it's like you hear him whispering and you're like, I could nap now.
yeah.
We're gonna have to rebrand this podcast 90s Now, the ASMR version.
Yeah.
No.
Back to
All
you, Sharon.
right. All right. Well, let's get it noisy and talk about Run-DMC. What the heck with it calling it quits? And yet at the same time, it's okay. You can do it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I got
40 years
angry
la-
reading this story, Sharon. I got angry.
Angry
Why?
because you don't want them to stop.
Yeah, and I just again, you and I and Adam knows my position on why are you announcing you're retiring? Just stop if you're gonna. But it doesn't need to be a big announcement because chances are in 3 years you're gonna be bored and you'll be back. So
Well, they even been doing much lately. I know that that Daryl McDaniels does stuff, and I know that Run does separate stuff, but together I don't know that they've been doing a lot. And I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm down with that. But what they're doing is coming to the end of a 40-year run, which is pretty impressive.
mhm.
And so in this case, I think 40 years later, it's okay to call your retirement. If
Is
it's going to
it
be
really
that, well,
though?
because then they can celebrate with a tour. They can,
Yeah.
kind of go out with a big hip hop bang, and
I guess.
coinciding with the 50th anniversary of hip hop as a genre is a pretty cool thing. I can see why they're seizing the moment.
Yeah, I guess I just like because I know that like you said there's a documentary thing. I guess I just feel like they could have just wrapped themselves around that doc, saying like this is our final something something, or like we're doing, to celebrate this doc, and then just kind of leave it at that. It's just I don't know. I even had a problem with Elton John saying he was gonna done, even though I'm sure he is done, and that's that's gonna be his plan of action. But I guess like he's so legendary. I don't want him to say he's done either.
Well, and the funny thing is that he is for Elton John, he is such a performer. Like he is a performing musician. He plays. He likes to play. He likes to evolve and grow and explore. He's a creative artist who likes to then show his work, So no surprise that when he called his retirement, the tour was to last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, of course, and I'm not even sure how many doubles were in there. And then COVID comes along and messes that up. So then the whole replanning of that. So technically, I think we're in year 4 now or more.
Mhm.
And did he do his last show? I think he did. But is he
Did he?
done?
I don't
he
even
did
know.
that. He did that one that was that's available to watch.
And by the way, just a quick sidebar. Did you get your tickets for Madonna?
You did.
Oh, good for you. Good.
Woo.
Yeah, I explored a couple of avenues, none of which were free, which ideally I would have loved.
Mhm.
But I knew that wasn't going to happen, truly.
Mhm.
And I got them. I had an option through work that I was able to buy them, but Deb bought them before I had to actually do that. She went on. She was armed with every device that we have in the house. And when the tickets went on sale, she was like, following everything. And she said she saw them going in real time, chunks of
Wow.
tickets. just
Yeah,
disappearing
well,
on
that
the
makes sense
screen.
because I spoke to one of our colleagues on the French side, and he said that when he went into the portal or whatever, he said there was like 2,000 people waiting or something. Like you could,
Isn't that
there's,
wild?
and then he went to Toronto and was able, and there was only like 5 people waiting. So he bought tickets for Toronto. So he's going to Toronto,
Oh, wow. Cool.
and which is cool. Like, and he's like, je m'en vais Toronto. I'm like, good for you.
Nice. I'm
So
very
that's what
much
he's doing.
looking
And then
forward to
just
it.
a quick follow up to Madonna. I don't know if you both saw, if you follow her both, I'm sure you both do. On her social media, she posted a little video that she took of herself following, I think, the sales date or the ticket sales. And this is the first time in like, I think ever for me that I've seen Madonna super humble and like beyond grateful. Like she got,
it was almost out of character
it was out of
for her.
character.
I haven't seen it, so I
You
will
have
totally
to, you have
watch
to
that.
watch it, Sharon. It's like, and again, like I do think she appreciates her fans. Like it's not that I think she's ever been like taking them for granted or whatever, but when you watch this message, like I feel like she just decided to record it because it's not even like you're not even seeing Adam, like her head's not even fully in the screen. Like she's
Yeah.
and she gets emotional, like just a bit. And she says, I'm not taking this for granted, like twice in 2 different sections. And you can just tell like she's legit blown away, I think, knowing that. Cause like for us here in Montreal, we got a second date. So I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other places that have also picked up a second date. So she was like, yeah, like I think this is the first time, for lack of a better word, that she was speechless.
Well, it's really cool because I think of the other times that she's been to Montreal. I've seen her twice here, and the second show was 30 years ago.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
Girly
Yeah,
show, right? Girly
I-
show. Yeah.
yeah, I found the ticket stub just the other day. So I have both ticket stubs from both of those shows, but I'm like 1993. Oh my God. The idea though that the other shows since, I always would have wanted a greatest hits show because it's Madonna, so you want to get everything, right? But she was always touring albums and the hits were secondary, which is fine
Mhm.
because that's the way she wanted to do it and it's her choice. But as soon as she said it was the 40th anniversary and it was going to be the celebration tour of hits, I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And Deb hadn't seen her. Like I said, I've seen her twice. I've been fortunate enough to get that opportunity. But since Deb hadn't seen her, we're like, we gotta go.
Hmm.
And to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm just numb to the idea that tickets cost what they cost, but it didn't seem as expensive as it could have been,
Oh yeah.
or as I've seen it be, even
Mhm.
for the
Yep,
show that we're
agreed.
attending.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we're psyched. And like we were talking about last show, that higher prices you qualify as experiences. So
Yeah.
yay, we're getting set for an experience.
That's what I'm gonna call my Janet show in Toronto.
Yeah.
The 6 experience. Yeah.
Well, you know what we were talking about, Run-DMC calling it quits. Looking back, there's Bono's done an interview with another one of our, I'm not sure if you guys listen to it. I love it. The Smartless podcast. But Bono was on that and talking to those guys and talking about how, everybody's talking about how U2's gonna do shows with or without Adam, not Adam, but Larry. And how can that happen? And oh my gosh, what's going to happen? He talked about how they've broken up so many times. It's just what they do. They just get to a point where they're like, that's it. And then they figure it out and they're like, we're back. It just doesn't make, it happens within their family kind of thing. So it's interesting that they've gone to it. They've gone to the end enough times that unbeknownst to us, we just look forward to their return each time. But
Yeah.
imagine they've broken up a few times.
Which is kind of hard to believe because like I always feel like they're rock steady. You know what I mean? Like they're rock steady to me. So
well, notably or historically, as legend has it, when they were making their transition, let's say out of the 80s into the 90s, out of the Joshua Tree into the Achtung Baby stuff, they talk about that the sound of Achtung Baby as the sound of 4 guys chopping down the Joshua Tree. So they got to a point where they were exploring different sounds, but it got to a point that within the four of them that they were at odds. So that to me historically sounds like, wow, that's a big deal. You know, they almost broke up then. And then to hear Bono say, yeah, we break up all the time. It's sort of like, what?
Thankfully, you, me, and Adam don't have that experience, so that's great.
We're together, at least for the rest of this show.
Yeah,
You guys ready for a 90s rewind?
ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go back, bros, to 1995.
Nice.
1995. You want to just lay back in the tall grass and listen to Tom Petty because you don't know how it feels.
Oh,
Was grooving out your radio, grooving into your headphones that weren't as easy as these. Tom Petty in that song talks about rolling another joint. Radio was not having that back in the day. They're like, oh, we gotta fix those lyrics because we can't be promoting rolling up joints. We're
That's
fine with it
crazy.
now.
How far we've
Yeah.
come.
Wow.
Look at we've grown.
Yeah.
Bunch of stoners. In answer to the question, what's the frequency, Kenneth? That's REM taking the story. Was it Dan Rather that was mugged? That's the story, is it not? And that was what
Was it?
the guy kept repeating.
Oh,
What's the
wow.
frequency, Kenneth? What's the frequency, Kenneth? Like, that's weird. And
Oops.
so a huge hit for REM.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hootie and the Blowfish were also filling our hearts with sounds and holding our hand. Hold my hand. Huge. Huge. They were great, you know?
That album, they just had what, 4 or 5 hits off that album? Like there was many,
Yeah.
many hits.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very signature 1995, that's for sure. And 100% pure love with our girl, Crystal Waters.
Mm-hmm.
Not 95%. 100.
Yeah.
A hundo
Also-
P.
News from Crystal, they're releasing at some point soon. As soon as I know, I'll tell you, but new remix is coming out for Gypsy Woman.
Nope.
You're wrong, Kelly. We just had Crystal on the line and she has denied that.
Yeah.
Crystal,
Her
do you
social
think-
media says otherwise though.
Crystal, do you concur with your social media?
Nope.
I didn't think so. One more of your 90s rewind takes a song from the 70s and puts some 1995 on it and a whole bunch of bass line and a whole bunch of victory feelings for anybody that successfully pronounced the name John Mellencamp and Michelle Ndegeocello.
Wow, nice job.
Thank you.
Good job.
I don't
Sharon.
think I can do it.
Thank you.
Bravo.
And full circle, Michelle was on Madonna's 94 album Secret with
Yes, she
I'd Rather
was.
Be Your Lover. Great song.
Oh God, she is so good.
Yeah. Wicked bassist.
Totally.
Mhm.
Wicked. That's your 90s rewind.
Good
Thank
job,
you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's it, you guys.
Perfect.
I gotta go.
Yep. I
Ciao.
figured you did. You have to go start collecting pop bottles to pay for those Madonna tickets.
Oh yeah. I gotta get my paper route done.
Yeah.
So you guys, thank you very much for listening and for watching and for checking in with us. We appreciate that very much. Wherever it is that you find us, thank you. And thank you for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.